Yesterday, I had a craving for ice cream. So I went to nearby ice cream shop to enjoy some ice cream. A waiter came to me and I requested him for 1 cup of vanilla ice cream. The waiter went to the shopkeeper and passed my request. The shopkeeper opened the refrigerator, took out vanilla ice cream and gave it to the waiter. The waiter then came back and responded by serving me my requested ice cream. What exactly happened? This example shows how exactly a website works. I made a request, just like doing some Google searches. The waiter is the server, who listens to my request and communicates with the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper is like PHP, he understands the instruction, fetches the correct data from the database which is refrigerator. The refrigerator is the database where all the data are stored. Finally, the server or the waiter in this case brings some response back to which you see on browser. In this case, it brings me my requested ice cream. A website works on a client-server mode where the client sends a request to the server for a web page. The server processes this request and responds by sending back the HTML structure, CSS for styling, and JavaScript for interactivity. This browser then interprets these files to display the complete web page to the user. Hello learners. In this tutorial we will start our backend development journey and we will be learning PHP with MySQL database. By the end of this tutorial, we will also make a project using PHP and MySQL database. This tutorial is for beginners and we will explore everything step by step from installation. So, let's get started. We will start with installing our text editor. A text editor is something which helps us to write our code. In this video we will be using Visual Studio Code as our text editor. Let's install it in our system. VS Code is available for all operating systems whether it's Windows, Mac or Linux. Installation is simple, just you need to follow the shown steps. Now as our VS Code installation is complete, let's move to backend development. Unlike HTML or CSS, PHP doesn't run directly in the browser, it needs a server to process the code. To solve this, we set up a local server on our own computer. This acts just like an online hosting server, but it runs only on your system. For beginners, the easiest way to do this is by installing XAMPP server. XAMPP is a free and open-source software package that allows you to run a web server or local server on your computer to develop or test websites. Let's install it in our computer. After that you would be able to understand it more perfectly. If at this point you are unable to understand the use of server, then you just think it is as something which is used to interact with our backend language like PHP. XAMPP is available for all operating systems. Just you need to click on your operating system and the downloading process will start. It might take some time to download depending on your network speed. Once the download is complete, click on the downloaded file. Allow the permission to make changes. Then follow the same procedure as shown. Our XAMPP server is installed. After the installation is done, a control panel will appear in front of you. From that control panel you need start your Apache server every time before coding in PHP. To work in MySQL database, click on Start. After that click on Admin. You will be directed to PHP MyAdmin where you can perform all the database related operations like creating a database, creating a table, etc. Here you can write SQL queries to use databases which are shown at the left side. since we don't have any tables in our test database. So it is not showing any data. We will get back to this again later in this video. But, for now let's move on towards learning PHP. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP is a widely used, free, server-side scripting language designed to create dynamic and interactive web pages by running code on the web server and sending the result as HTML to the browser. It's simple to learn and powerful for web development tasks like handling forms, databases, and user sessions. PHP gets executed on the server, and the plain HTML result is sent back to the browser. A PHP script can be written anywhere in the document. The default extension of PHP file is .php. PHP statements end with a semicolon. To print values in PHP, we use two ways, echo and print. Echo is a bit faster than print, also echo can take multiple parameters, while print can take only one parameter. Now let's write our first program in PHP. For that we need to create a new folder inside htdocs folder. Simply follow the path. After the folder is created, go inside the folder, then press Shift plus right click. Select VS Code. Now to access the file, we need to add the complete URL along with localhost folder name. Make sure your Apache server is start in XAMPP control panel. Boom! Let me open view page source. Now, I am going to show you something interesting. Till now, our view page source of our page contains the same code as we have written. Now, let me include the PHP line inside our index.php file. Our PHP line runs fine, but what if we view page source? You will not find any echo statement in the view page source. This is because view page source contains only front-end code, which is HTML, CSS and JavaScript. But it will not show any backend code, as backend codes are kept private for security purpose. By the way, congratulations to all of you for creating your first PHP website. Please comment down from where you are watching this video. I would be happy to see your comments. Let me create a separate folder for storing all the tutorial-related files. Don't worry, I will provide you the source code link in the description box. As we have changed our file location, so we need to make changes in the URL accordingly. Let's move on to comments in PHP. A comment in PHP is the part or line of the code that is not executed as a part of the program. The purpose of a comment is to make the code readable for different users. There are two types of comments: single-line comments, multi-line comments. Let's understand through quick demonstration. Since comments do not get executed as a part of the program, so you will not find comments inside the view page source. As we discussed earlier, there are two types of comment. First is single-line comment, and second one we have is multi-line comment. In VS Code you can comment down multiple lines using Ctrl+/. Next we have variables. Variables are containers for storing information. In PHP, variable should start with $sign followed by the name of the variable. Make sure A variable name should not start with numbers. A variable name should always start with letter or underscore. I repeat this once more. While running your PHP file, you should make sure your Apache server is start, or else you will not be able to access the file. Let's understand variable in PHP through a quick demonstration. Now moving on to operators in PHP. Operators in PHP are used to perform operations on variable. There are multiple operations in PHP. Most common ones are arithmetic operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, increment-decrement operator, logical operator. I have mentioned all the symbols for these operators. Let's understand some of them through practical demonstration. Arithmetic operators deals with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and remainder. Whereas, assignment operators is used to assign some values to the existing variable. Here, $x plus is equal to 12 means $x is equal to $x plus 12. Means 12 should be added to previous value of $x. Make sure you must not give unnecessary spaces in your code, or you might end up with errors. Next operator we have is comparison operator, which is used to compare two values, whether they are equal or not. The output here is 1, which means true. Now, let's move towards strings. A string is a sequence of characters. For example, welcome to Pro Developing Champs. PHP has a set of built-in functions that can be used to modify strings. We will look at each built-in functions one by one. The first built-in function we have is strlay. It returns the number of characters in a string. The second built-in function we have is strWordCount. It counts the number of words in a string. The third built-in function we have is strpos. It is used to find the position of the first occurrence of a substring inside a string. As in this case, it will find from what position will you find text. In PHP, to convert a string to uppercase, you use the str to upper function. Similarly, to convert a string to lowercase, you use the str to lower function. In PHP, the function str_replace is used to replace all occurrences of a substring with another substring in a string. For example, in this example we replace my word with your. In PHP, the function strrev is used to reverse a string. In PHP, the function explode is used to split a string into an array based on a delimiter. Delimiter means how the words are separated. This array which you are seeing is called associative array, which stores value in key-value pair. We will need this array concept further in our video while fetching the data from the database. This is how we concatenate two strings in PHP. This is how we can add special symbols to our strings. Moving on to the next topic, which is conditional statements. Conditional statements is used to execute different blocks of code based on whether a specified condition is true or false. These statements help in decision-making in programming. There are mainly two types of conditional statements: if-else block, switch case block. Let's understand each of them through example in details. Now let's make this if statement as nested conditional statement, which means conditional statement inside a conditional statement. Let's try writing a conditional statement with else-if block. Let's write a switch case statement now. Here case 1 means whenever the value of $day will be 1, then it will print Monday. Similarly, in case 2, when the value of $day will be 2, it will print Tuesday, and so on. Here default will get executed when the value of $day will be other than 1 to 7. Moving on to the next topic, we have loops. Loops in PHP help in executing a block of code repeatedly as long as the specified condition is true. In PHP, some of the common loops are while loop, do while loop, for loop. Let's execute each one by one. The do-while loop is a bit different. Even if the condition is wrong, the do-while loop will get executed at least once. As in this example, $num is not equal to 12, still it got executed for once. Now let's understand break statement in looping. The break statement is used to exit a loop immediately, no matter whether the loop condition is still true. Let's understand through an example. In this example shown, as $I value will reach 4, the loop will stop because of break statement. Similarly, in this example, shown as $I value will reach 6, the loop will stop because of break statement. Now coming to the continue statement. The continue statement skips the current iteration of a loop and moves to the next iteration. Let's understand through an example. Opposite of break, here continue skips printing value 6 and starts again from 8. Similarly, for $I is equal to 4. It skips 4 value and starts from 6. Moving on to the next topic, functions. A function in PHP is a reusable block of code designed to perform a specific task. It can accept inputs, parameters, execute commands, and optionally return a result when called in the program. Functions simplify our code and make our code reusable. Let's understand through demonstration. Arrays are special variables that can hold multiple values under a single name. We will see various demonstrations to write an array along with some methods like push and pop. There are multiple ways of defining an array, but for now we will be looking into one or two. Now, let's see push and pop operations in an array. Done with PHP syntax learning. Now it's the time to start implementing our project. Let's start creating our project. Meanwhile, I would be giving you explanations of any new concept used parallelly. Today we will learn how to submit our data in the database and also how to fetch data from the database using PHP. First, we will see how to submit a form in PHP. After that we will see how to manage that submitted data in PHP. But before everything, we will build a simple HTML form. We have given a path in the form action attribute, which means after this form gets submitted, the value entered in the form fields will go to that particular PHP file, which is submit.php in this case. Also, in the method attribute we have used post method. What does it mean? We will understand this further in the video. Here, what needs to be focused more is the name attribute which we will use in the PHP file to get all the values of the field. Looks like there is some error giving the path of submit.php file in the action attribute of form. So, make sure you give the correct path in the form action attribute. Done. File is submitted but we haven't got any message. Let's add some message in submit.php. Cool. Now let's understand what is the difference between get method and post method. In get method, data is visible in the URL which is less secure. Get method can be shared as a link. In post method, data is hidden from URL which is more secure than get. How? Let's understand through demonstration. In this example, as we have set the form method attribute as post, so in the submitted URL you can't see any information regarding the data submitted. But, will it be same when we set it to get method? Let's find it out. As you can see, all the data we entered in the form are clearly visible in the URL link, which shows it is not secure to use get method while dealing with sensitive data like username and password. Now, let's write code to handle the data submitted to submit.php. How to do it? Since we used the post method in the form, we can store the submitted values in PHP variables using $_post. If we had used the get method instead, we would use $_get to retrieve the data. Oops! We missed the semicolon. Till now, is everything clear? Let me know in the comments. Next we will learn how to build connection with our database to save our data in the tables and to fetch the value from the tables. Open your XAMPP control panel and start your MySQL. After that, click on the admin button beside MySQL start button. Move to the SQL section inside PHP MyAdmin after it is open. We will be creating a fresh database and table to store our form details. Our database MyForm is created. Now, let's move on towards creating a new table. Make sure while creating the table, column name should match with the form fields. Cool, our table is created. Now let's move towards building connection using PHP. Remember, the first step is to build connection with the database. For building connection we need 5 things. First is hostname, which is localhost. Second is username, which is root by default. Third is password. By default we don't have any password. Fourth is database name. In our case database is MyForm. And fifth is port number. For building connection, we will use MySQL_connect, which is a built-in PHP function that opens a communication link between PHP program and MySQL database. Port number is visible in the XAMPP control panel beside MySQL Start/Stop button. In my case it is 3307. In your case it might be 3306. You can check out. Next, we are checking whether the connection is well established or not. The next built-in function we will use is MySQL connect In PHP, it is used to return a message describing the most recent connection error when MySQL_connect function fails. If there will be any MySQL_connect error, it will exit. Step 2. Collect form data. Now as a next step we will be collecting all the data inside separate variables, which we have already done. Step 3. Write SQL query. Now as we need to insert all this data inside our table of database MyForm, we will write separate query for it. As you all know, to insert any values inside table we write insert command. Step 4. Execute the written SQL query. To execute SQL query we need a new built-in function, MySQL_query, which executes an SQL query for our database connection. Next MySQLi built-in function we will use is the MySQLi_error is a built-in function that returns the error message for the most recent query on that connection. Step 5. Show success message after the SQL query is executed. Next built-in function we will use is MySQLi_close. The MySQLi_close is a built-in function that closes the database connection. After all steps are done, step 6 is to close the connection as a good practice. And done. Now it's time to see whether our data is saved or not. Oh! It seems there is some error with our insert into statement at line 24. Let's fix it out. We need to quote the variable values inside single quotes. You may think the error is in line 22, then why it is showing line 24 in the error message? This is because the SQL query we have written in line 22 gets executed at line 24 under MySQLi_query function. So, we can see error message saying error at line 24. Boom! Looks like our data is saved successfully inside the table. Let's check it out. Fantastic! Congratulations, we have executed our PHP file to save data inside the database. Did you understood till here? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's move towards fetching the data from our database table. To fetch the data, we will create a new form. In this new form, we will fetch the values using our email which is submitted already. For this form we will keep the form method as get method. Cool. Our form is ready. Now we need write PHP code for it. Same as before, we will have to build connection with the database as the first step. For the suite P2, we will have to store the form data in a variable. This time, as we are using get method in our form, so we will use $_get. Step 3. We will write SQL query to fetch value as per the email. Step 4. We will execute our SQL query. Note: you will notice that we are using same set of built-in functions again and again in the PHP code. You don't need to by heart all these built-in functions at once, it will come with practice. Step 5. After the SQL query gets executed, we will check if any record exists or not. Next built-in function we will use is MySQL_fetch_assoc. The MySQL_fetch_assoc is a built-in function that fetches one row at a time from the result as an array in key value pairs. As example, the $row array is shown how data is saved using MySQL fetch_assoc function. If you print $row name, it will give output Amit. Here, we are using while loop to print all the rows of the MySQL table. If in case we have multiple rows with same email ID, we need to print all these values. So, here comes step 6, where we are printing all the values we have fetched from MySQL table. As a next step, we will close the connection from our database. Here, it might throw error because we have not done string concatenation properly, so let's fix it before. Cool. We have fetched our values from the database table correctly. But, in the first line there is some notice related to line 27. Let's fix it. Here, we need another built-in function. MySQL num_rows. The MySQL_num_rows is a built-in function that returns the number of rows in a result set for select query. Since $result value is not in number, so comparing it with 0 shows some warning lines. Done. We have fetched our values from the database tables. Now, let me show you some ways to make your PHP code optimized. As you have seen, most of the part of our PHP files are common. So, here we can save the common code in a separate file and include that file wherever required to avoid repetitive typing. Now, let's give some styling to our website to make it look more attractive. Hope I was able to explain you every concept shown in this tutorial. This tutorial will let you start your backend journey. I have shared the source code link in the description box. In the upcoming videos, we will dive more deeper into the advanced concepts. I would request you to please subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Press the bell icon and comment down your suggestion. I would be pleased to read your comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye and see you in the next tutorial.